Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Vince the Feral Cat and this is How to Swim, the guide for free-to-play and low-spenders players of Lord of the Rings Knights to War. In this episode we will talk about reinforcements. And no, this video will not just last few seconds to tell you to press on this button and enjoy the process, because nothing in life is ever easy, at least not for me. So, when we have to reinforce, we have to take under consideration some things first. Like, in first place, we have to ask ourselves if reinforcing is or not actually convenient at the moment. So, we have to think about first the stamina cost, because when you are outside your settlement or your fort, there is a stamina cost of 5 to pay to reinforce. And pro tip, for the first days of the season, when you are supposed to farm the most, don't reinforce your armies ever. Always recall and don't waste your stamina. But we will talk better about the first days of the season in another video, don't worry. Anyway, another important thing to also take in consideration is the amount of troops that we can send as reinforcement. Um, as reinforcement. Like, for example, if we are outside and we are already spending stamina to reinforce, if we don't have enough troops to refill our army, probably reinforcing will not be convenient for the moment. It's better to wait to recruit or heal more troops. And if we are already in a dangerous zone, probably the safest option would also be to recall your army, to not waste your last troops. These, unless you are next to another teammate that can cover you during your wait. Another thing that we have to keep in mind when we want to reinforce is where we are. If we are, like in my case, in the front line, I would be very exposed to enemy attacks while I have to wait for reinforcements. So, if we need to reinforce in the battlefield, I have to mind my position. Okay, my position. Try to reinforce in a safe zone, considering also how much time your reinforcement need to arrive, or if your commanders are dead. One or more than one your commanders is dead, because if only one or more is dead, your formation will not be sent again to your forts or your settlement, so you are still able to reinforce, but before the commander is able to fight again, you will still have to wait for 9 minutes. In my case, for example, the enemies need at least 10 minutes, yes, 10 minutes to take those two tiles to get me and be able to attack me. While I know that my reinforcement takes something like 1 or 2 minutes to arrive. 1 2 minutes. So I know I'm quite safe here. So try always to have a wall of tiles between you and the actual front line when you have to reinforce, to buy you some times. They are already incoming. Now, let's talk let's talk about an important feature that not many players are aware of. A werewolf. The available waypoints. What is that? Here. Click 2 times on the minus on the minus symbol, and you will see this new layout. From here, you are able to select the route of your reinforcement by selecting I waypoints. Here. Here you can customize the route by selecting relevant points, like your own forts, or crossings, keeps, or capitals. Click, click. If you make a mess, there is this circular arrow to reset. When you confirm, you will be sent again to the normal layout, and you have to zoom again, and here you will see the updated time to reinforcement. I made the route longer, so it's normal that the time is higher. There are location and situation where this feature is extremely important, like for example in Rohan. In Rohan, where you don't want to enter, for example, in this green zone, but you want to pass, for example, in this crossing. In this crossing, or in general, if you know that there are active enemies in the normal route that are trying to snipe your reinforcements, be smarter and use this feature to avoid them. Another thing to remember is that you can send troops to your forts, or you can recruit troops in your forts, even if your fort is not upgraded. In this case, for recruit your zoom. To recruit, you have to click on conscript, and you will be able to recruit all the troops you have in your formation in positioned parked in that fort, like this. But making a step behind, how do we send troops to a fort? First, you can send troops to any fort. Your fort must be upgraded at least 2 times. This is a great upgraded 1 time and I can send troops. This is upgraded 2 times and I can send troops here. Click, click, click. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Pardon me. We only have to select the transport option, and in this layout you will be able to see all the available commanders, meaning commanders that that possess at least 1 troops and are present in your settlement. I recommend you to assign as delivery guy, let's call him like that, only one unit, and possibly a unit that has a March speed grade of S. And in my personal opinion, but it's quite correct, the best delivery guy is Merry and Pippin, because at R0 you are able to unlock this talent, this skill that gives you a boost to march speed of 30%. In fact, you can see the difference in the timing to send reinforcement: 28 minutes, 1 hour, 52 minutes. You can then select the troops you want to send to the fort, all the troops you are needed, but you have to respect this unit limit. This unit limit will increase when you upgrade your fort. This is a fort upgraded 1 time, 6,000. This is upgraded at the maximum, is the double. This is a tactical fort and you have 30,000. Now, why is important to transport troops? Because it's faster than calling reinforcements from your settlement, and if your reinforcement gets sniped, you will not lose your troops, the troops that you are sending as reinforcement. You will only lose the unit that your delivery guy is running in his formation. So you will lose only that pony you gave to Merry and Pippin. And now that we are talking about sniping, how do we snipe reinforcements? Usually by using flying armies and sending them where we see red arrows that we think that may be reinforcement, the reinforcement routes. Or we can try to position an army, a regular army, or even flying army, on one of the roads we know that enemies will need to use. For example, here in Gundabad, where I am located, this is probably the main the Route 66, the main road, or as I said before, in Rohan, Rohan, in Rohan, this crossing is extremely important, and instead of taking this crossing, I could just park my army here and kill whoever tried to cross it. And now I think that about reinforcement, that's it. We are done. I think that in the next episode we can already start talking about the most friendly free-to-play commanders and their builds. And in the meantime, I think we can say ciao ciao and to the next time. See you on Twitch or YouTube. Bye bye.